Britain is bracing itself for one of the most disruptive weeks of strike action in decades in the run-up to Christmas. Nurses, ambulance workers, customs and immigration staff, postal and rail workers are all walking out amid soaring inflation and pay disputes.
I'm striking today because I want fair pay for nurses. After working through the pandemic, morale was at an all-time high at one point, and then it was at an all-time low because we quickly realised that claps don't pay the bills, and the recognition we got wasn't also going to pay the bills. And now is the time to kind of give the nurses and the rest of the NHS what they deserve.
I just want to ask you if today's RMT national train strike is affecting your travel plans.
We had to change our train for another company that wasn't participating in the strikes. So we're taking a train with Lumo instead of LNER.
What we're seeing right now are groups of workers going on strike or taking forms of industrial action that typically haven't done so. So, for example, ambulance drivers, nurses, some of these groups have never gone on strike. So it is surprising to see that, but may be reflective of the depth of feeling that employees have now about their pay and their terms and conditions of employment.
The latest wave of strikes began last week against the backdrop of persistently low real wage growth for public sector workers amid a deepening cost of living crisis. When adjusted for inflation over the year, total and regular pay among employees fell by 2.7% between August and October, which remained among the largest falls in growth since comparable records began in 2001, according to Britain's Office for National Statistics.
In terms of the current wave of industrial disputes, the situation is, of course, extremely complicated. We have employees who are seeking cost of living pay awards, and the cost of living inflation is rising. So I don't think there's an easy solution at hand, but I think what does need to happen is ongoing consultation and negotiation, because that is the only way that we ever resolve industrial disputes.
The wave of strikes is set to impact the British economy, which is already in a fragile state. The GDP fell by 0.3% in the 3 months to October, and a lengthy recession is expected in the country.
There is no doubt that these strikes will be having an impact on the UK economy. If we take train strikes, for example, they can prevent people from getting to work. They might also prevent people from, certainly this time of year, going into city centres and doing shopping, for example. So there's no doubt that there is a much broader economic impact. So again, it all comes back to a compelling reason to get as many of these disputes resolved as possible.